welcome back to the Royal Journey. I know that I hadn't posted last week. I was a little too busy, so I didn't get time to make a video. Anyways, moving forward. So today's topic is gonna be on Natalie Wood. Who was Natalie Wood? Natalie Wood was actually a really good actress. She began her career as a child, but unfortunately at the age of 43, she died tragically. Her death was ruled as accidental drowning. Great, here we go again. But basically, what they were saying is that she was on a yacht with a couple of friends and she just accidentally drowned because she had a little too much to drink. Of course, that is not what I think. So let me give you a little bit of a back history of Natalie Wood, first of all. Around the age of 16, Natalie decided to separate herself from her mother because her mother was always picking at her and nudging her to do stuff that she wanted her to do, but Natalie never wanted to. So she decided, okay, enough. Like, I need my own life now. At the age of 18, she met Robert Wagner. Now, she got married to him just a year after she had met him, so at the age of 19. Unfortunately, their marriage only lasted 5 years. So about 7 years down the road, she met somebody else. His last name was Warren. Natalie had her first child, Natasha, with him. But unfortunately, once again, her marriage did not last. So in 1972, the moment that she divorced Warren, she got back together with Robert. That same year, Natalie got married to Robert and they had a child and her name was Courtney. So let's take it back to when Natalie was on the boat with Wagner and Warren. Now, Wagner and Warren, of course, are gonna have some difficulties with each other because they're both her ex-husbands and one of them's her current husband. Of course, Robert, being her husband at the time, was questioned by police a lot. And he was the #1 suspect in the murder of Natalie's. The thing I couldn't understand was how the heck did Natalie go overboard from the yacht? I mean, she was found in her nightgown and socks and like the jacket that she was wearing. So reading that, I was like, what the heck? Of course, when Wagner and Warren were first questioned by police, these guys said that they had no idea what happened. But things got interesting after that. There were 4 people on this yacht in total, one of them being the person who was driving the boat. His name was Davern. Now, Davern actually helped cover up the fact that Natalie and Wagner were fighting. Which is very interesting because in the beginning, when these guys were questioned, their storyline was they couldn't find Natalie, that she just disappeared off the yacht. How does one just disappear from the yacht? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Especially the fact that Natalie was actually afraid of the water. A little more of a background, the reason that Natalie was afraid of water was because a psychic that her mother had taken her to had told her that your daughter should not be near the water, like it's dangerous for her. And her mother kept putting that thought and fear in Natalie's mind, so it's always been in the back of her head that, oh my God, I'm gonna die if I'm anywhere near the water. Now, let's go to the coroner's office. So the person who did the autopsy report was Noguchi. And Noguchi, interestingly enough, was also the same person who did the report of Marilyn Monroe. See how they just connect? It's just blows my mind. Anyway, so in Noguchi's autopsy report, it literally states that Natalie had bruises on her arms and legs. However, of course, as usual, it's covered up. Now, in the autopsy report, it literally stated that Natalie had died way before 7 a.m. She was declared dead at 7:44 in the morning. The thing is that Robert Wagner decided not to get any help. So according to Davern, what actually happened was that when Natalie fell overboard, Roger completely ignored the fact that she was in the cold water and that she was drowning. She even shouted for help, but he just kept ignoring that. And when Davern tried to call for help, Wagner kept delaying it. He delayed it up until 1 o'clock in the morning. Natalie had fallen overboard at around 11 o'clock. So there were new witnesses that came forward and said, yes, we heard screaming in the water because we were in our boats and we were just cruising around near the yacht when we heard the screams, but we didn't think anything of it because there was also another yacht nearby that had a party going on, so we thought maybe somebody's playing a prank. But she screamed for about 30 minutes straight. It's interesting to me that these witnesses are saying that, oh, it's probably a joke. First of all, the person is screaming for 30 continuous minutes. How are you to tell me that, oh, we just thought it's a joke? I don't take that as a joke. If somebody were to scream for 30 continuous minutes, there's definitely something going on and you should probably find out. So these witnesses definitely were just trying to cover up the tracks. No matter how many times the cops literally questioned these 3 people that were remaining, the answer that they got was always the same. We don't know how or when Natalie fell over. But according to Davern, because he came forward afterwards, he said that Wagner and Natalie had been fighting a lot. And this was way before they decided to take a trip down to Catalina Island. And apparently at the restaurant that they went to on the island, Wagner had apparently gotten a little heated, according to Davern. And he actually ended up breaking a wine bottle because he was pissed. And he accused Natalie and Warren to be screwing around behind his back. Davern said that they continued drinking, and by the time they got back to the boat, things had gotten even worse. Like, these guys were continuously arguing. And Wagner told the cops that he and Warren stayed behind to talk, and so did Davern, and that Natalie went off to bed early. However, according to Davern, Wagner ended up following Natalie back to the room right after they came back from the restaurant. Now, here's my theory. Number 1, Natalie had married Warren and she also married Wagner. She broke up with Warren and got back together with Wagner right after she had divorced Warren. Fact number 2, Natalie invited Warren as well. Now, the yacht that these guys used to go on, it was actually a yacht that Natalie and Wagner used to take out into the waters to get away from the eyes around them with their kids. So inviting Warren, of course, it would have rose a lot of questions for Wagner because he probably wanted time away with his wife. I'm not saying that Wagner did it, but if he did, I mean, he has quite enough reasons to have done it. Because in my opinion, I mean, Natalie, literally divorced Warren and got back together with Wagner within, couple of months, maybe not even months, like a week, So what's to say that she weren't to do the same thing again? Who's to say that she wasn't gonna do the same exact thing? If we were to look at Natalie's timeline, literally she has gone from guy to guy. And she has dated quite a bit, I think in her mid-20s. So I wouldn't really blame Wagner, but I don't think it was accidental drowning. I definitely don't think that it was accidental drowning at all. Especially because Noguchi's reports show that she had bruises on her arms and legs. So to me, it's like, you guys are covering up the fact that you guys literally threw her abroad. And on top of that, she was screaming for 30 minutes. I get that, Wagner was pissed off and whatever, that Warren was abroad too. So, okay, yeah, you have the right to be pissed off, but you don't get to cause harm to somebody like that. And especially the fact that Wagner knew Natalie is afraid of the water. Another reason that I don't believe that it was accidental drowning was because Davern literally said that Warren wouldn't let Davern turn on the boat lights to see if she was in the water. On top of that, he kept delaying to call for help. So I know for a fact that, Wagner was probably the one who did that, but claiming it as accidental drowning, yeah, no. I mean, the facts are there, so I don't know how the cops and everybody have just been ignoring it. Then again, it's LA. And literally people just pay each other off to shut up. So yeah, I really don't think that in any matter it's accidental drowning. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you guys have my notifications on, subscribe, like, share the video, and comment down below if you guys have any suggestions for what video I should do next. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.